Welcome to Shrouded Realities. We're coming in meaner and leaner this morning.
That's right.
Because we're down Steven.
Yep.
He's sick.
He is sick.
He's got a stuffy nose.
Turns out when you don't have a soul, you're,
Whoa!
Just kidding.
Ginger joke off the start. Sorry,
He hates us
Steven.
for that. He's so tired of it.
I feel like he just accepts it.
You kind of have to.
He's been living with it all his life.
You can't just use hair dye and get rid of it.
No. Have you ever seen a ginger dye their hair?
No.
I wonder what that would look like. Maybe we can get Steven to do it.
Ooh, like go to a brown. That would look weird. No, don't do that.
We'll just go black or blonde.
Whoa.
Is that possible?
I don't know. You have to bleach it first.
Maybe that's why they don't, because they can't. I don't know.
Conspiracy.
We're getting in a weird place.
Yeah.
Today we're talking about chemtrails.
Chemtrails.
What got us here?
Are they real?
Are they?
Are they just a figment of your imagination?
We definitely see something.
Is it just science?
Is it, normal?
Trust the science.
Trust the science. Is it normal?
Yeah.
So what got us here? We was early in the week. We was thinking about what we should talk about this week, and I come across a article saying that Ron DeSantis, Florida governor, just signed in a law banning geoengineering and weather modification in Florida. So why would a governor and senators worry about geoengineering and weather modification if chemtrails wasn't real?
Well, they would say, Joey, those are two different things.
They are. I think that's right. But we'll dig into that. I kind of want to let's just lay out all the evidence.
Yeah.
And
I want to get into what are people saying chemtrails are?
Yes.
Because it's so much information.
Yeah. And chemtrails, for me, is like flat earth crazy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
they're pumping the sky full of stuff.
yeah. Is that real? Is it not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It definitely plays into the schizophrenic part of your brain.
It does.
Because you're like, yeah, you get yourself in that, like, that position, and you look up at planes, you're like, see?
Yeah.
And like, you like trick yourself into believing it.
Because everybody can see them. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like nobody denies that there's stripes coming from behind airplanes in the sky.
Yeah.
You walk out on a clear day, you're going to see them.
Yeah.
For sure. But are they chemicals being released, or is that normal?
Right.
Is it just jet exhaust?
Right. I mean, I would, me personally, I think 99% of it is going to be natural. Just because I don't think it'd be a efficient transfer of any kind of, I don't know what you would call it, chemical? Motive.
Yeah.
I feel like putting it in the water would be better.
Yeah, there's
Everybody drinks water.
Yeah, if chemtrails were real and the government really was trying to kill us through the skies,
they would just bomb us.
There's so much more efficient ways to do
They
it
would just blow us up.
than the slow release of chemicals.
They'd have some Southwest pilot have to hit a secret button.
Yeah.
He makes minimum wage. He has to drop the load from Chicago to New York.
Yeah. And what would the point be?
Yeah, what would be the point?
Yeah,
Maybe that's why they charge more for baggage, because they got to make up for the difference of the chemical in the plane.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
They're selling.
They're making profit.
They're selling the ability.
It's not the fuel, it's the chemical they got to make up for.
Well, so I had that thought. I'm like, are they like switching a button to turn on a smoke cloud to release whatever into the sky? But they could very easily just put it in the jet fuel and just burn it in the jets.
Okay, so you're saying they're just mixing it in before it even...
Yeah, it's just pre-mix.
Yeah, so it's not some grand conspiracy, you don't think, of every pilot ever?
No. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way that commercial airliners are just like flipping a button.
Getting their coffee, walking the plane like, I can't wait to drop our aluminum oxide today.
Exactly. That's not happening.
Yeah, no.
That's goofy.
That is goofy.
Which is what makes this topic goofy.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It's funny.
Yeah.
But
let it rip.
Here's the big but.
I like big butts.
And I cannot lie. The government has done stuff like this.
Yes. Yes.
in real life.
I saw, I don't know how, I think it was like a year ago, maybe not even a year ago. There was I think it was somewhere in Washington, or Oregon.
Yep.
They had a radar and it showed like some weird pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And an anchor came on. It was like, yeah, the U.S. Air Force is testing aluminum shavings in the sky. And there was something, the guy like got fired or something.
Yeah.
Like, what are y'all doing over there?
But they have done it.
They have done it. Of course they would do it.
Yeah. I can't remember when it was, but I think it was like during Vietnam era, they released it to test to see if they could.
Yeah.
But they supposedly released a non-toxic chemical, like something that's just inert.
Yeah.
So that they could test the effects of
like
trying
the spread
to do
of
that.
it.
Yeah, like the spread. Is it possible?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So could they do it?
I think they have the means. They have the means.
They have the means.
They have the means to blow up a city.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they have the means to drop chemicals?
Right. Easily.
Like it's normal. It's not like speculating on mind control. Like this is something you just put in a sprayer and it just leaves the plane.
Yeah. That's goofy to me.
Yeah.
Well, so let's just for like you guys didn't even know the difference between chemtrails and chemtrails.
If I didn't look it up, those two I would think would be synonymous.
Yeah, and they kind of are. But the chemtrail is the conspiracy side. Like it's chemicals coming out. That's what you're seeing in the sky. Mm-hmm. Contrails is the scientific explanation of what you're seeing in the sky.
Gotcha.
That I do believe is like you said, 99% of it.
Yeah.
So the airplanes are way up in the sky. Mm-hmm. They're
atmosphere is different.
30,000 feet up in the air. It's colder up there. And you got this hot jet fuel burning through the jets, and it's exhausted out. Of course, there's going to be condensation because you're mixing crazy hot air with the cold
you
atmosphere.
could test this in your car.
Yeah, it's easy.
Turn the AC down and go.
Yeah, a bottle of water. Like, take it outside. It's going to get condensation on it quick just because of the differences in temperature. Moisture attracts to it, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Don't want to get too nerdy. But, yeah, so that...
I think public aviation, I don't think there's any conspiracy. Mm-mm. Military side, there's definitely got to be something that they're testing. They're always testing something. Yeah.
And I think the government conspiracy side, if they are doing that, they would do it at a lower altitude.
Yeah.
Not what we're seeing in the sky.
Yeah, something that couldn't be seen, you think?
Yeah. No, I think it could be seen.
What do you mean by lower altitude?
But just
do you mean like tree line or just like half the...
No, it's just dumb to think that you're going to affect anything at 30,000 feet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you spread, 30,000 feet in the air, leave this chemical trail behind you. That's not going to affect anything.
Yeah.
Down below it. It's going to drift and move.
Yeah, move with the wind and go halfway around the world probably.
Yeah. Like you would literally have to do it over Ohio to hit China. Yeah. And then you got to hope the conditions are perfect for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's goofy to me. It's not, you're not doing that. You're not spreading chemicals at 30,000 feet, which is what we see. But if they did want to spread chemicals to modify weather, drop pesticides, herbicides to kill crops to affect different things, they would do that at a lower altitude. Mm-hmm. And that's what crop dusting, like it's a thing. Yeah. Like we've all seen it. Mm-hmm. That's normal. But they're right there above it so that it falls directly on it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine doing a crop duster at 20,000 feet?
Yeah.
It's not going to hit anything.
No, it's not.
Dissipate and go all over the place.
Yeah.
It might cause damage, but it's not where you're going to want it.
Yeah.
So if the government was trying to kill things and people, they would do it a lot closer to the ground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And plus, I think if you're already in that world of not trusting the government, like whenever the government comes out and says, this is our findings, like if you're already in that space,
you're not believing it.
You're not believing it.
No.
So you're just going to it's going to just be this revolving door that causes you to just lose your ever-living mind. Yeah. That's why you got to be really careful.
Yeah.
Just like, sometimes you just got to let it go.
Yeah. That's where I was this week. We had this conversation.
Yeah.
But like, as I'm digging into this, I'm like, I don't know what to trust.
Yeah.
Because the chemical warfare side makes sense.
Yeah.
But then the condensation side makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like, what?
I think both can be true, though.
Yeah.
Both can be true.
That's where I've come to
Yeah, because if you're just like, it's all chemicals, like you're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
You're gonna, because you're gonna. I mean, if you can't even trust the daggum planes, you know,
Yeah.
who can you trust?
And that's where I'm living. We had this conversation this week. I'm like, man, I don't know if I can keep doing government conspiracy stuff.
Yeah,
because it's making me freaking crazy.
yeah,
Because of that, it's just hard to trust anything.
yeah,
But like you said, that's where I kind of came later in the week. It's like it could be both.
yeah,
But I don't think it's always contrails are always chemicals.
gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also when I was looking this up, I didn't realize it started in like '99.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
Pre 9/11
with an email like release.
You
like,
got mail.
Chain email. Yeah, yeah. Like forward this to your buddies.
Yeah.
That's how it started. That's when chemtrails first became a thing.
Can you imagine being the guy who started that? Like, I'm just going to make up no BS.
And he had to come out later and say he made it up.
Really?
Yep. Because it was, and the reason he made it up, because he was starting a consulting firm and he needed that information to be out there to prop up his business. So he later did, I heard the name on a podcast. I can't remember his name. It was a weird name.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was completely fabricated.
Yeah. What if it was like an airliner who did it? They sponsored somebody to spread a rumor like that.
Could have.
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe business was down. I don't know.
I never did hear what his consultation firm was, but apparently whatever it was, it helped his cause for the world to believe that everybody's trying to kill us.
I mean, is he wrong?
No, but not by chemtrails.
Not by No.
If anybody's trying to kill us, it's the Food and Drug Administration trying to.
Yeah. So I wonder what's kept the chemtrail conspiracy alive.
Because I think it's because it's so plausible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we've done it.
Yeah.
We've modified the weather.
There's enough truth in there that.
Yeah. It keeps it alive and that everybody can see it.
Yeah.
You know
it's not like behind closed doors type thing.
Yeah. Because it's there. You look up in the sky, that's there. Everybody sees it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good way to make someone who's already crazy go even further like crazy. If you go up to tell them like, you see those lines in the sky?
Yeah.
They're killing us with that.
That's ammonium dioxide.
Just say some bull crap.
To make you dumber.
That's titanium dioxide.
Yeah. It's there to make you dumber so that you're more pliable.
Yeah. They're making the voices in your head. That'd be a good way to really set somebody off.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can't touch it, but you can see it.
Yeah.
So they would drive you nuts. So you can't do nothing about it.
And like you said, if you're living in that headspace already, it's easy to get there.
Yeah.
Very easy to get there.
You're literally like a hop, skip, and a jump from it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that was what one of the triggers for Ted Kaczynski was. You know, he was already a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
We need to do a show on him. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a show on him.
Yeah, he's an interesting character.
Yeah. Turns out not all of it was his fault. He was mind controlled.
Yeah. Abused.
Yeah,
you know,
at an early age.
Yeah, I want to go over his manifesto and just see what's played out.
Yeah,
what he said.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If any of it, lined up with his. Was it a manifesto or was it just a? Was it a?
It was a diary, journal type
something
thing.
Like that.
He had tons of books of that,
Mm-hmm.
but that was his motivation for like getting away and hiding in the woods. Was he thought this stuff was real?
Yeah,
and then he that's why he targeted airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he targeted universities, but he tried to take down a few airplanes because he would see them flying over, and it would
not in my woods.
Yeah, it would disrupt his peace, and he wanted to take the whole system down.
Yeah.
So I could kind of agree with his motivations, but I don't agree with how he did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, innocent people didn't need to die for
this cause.
His cause. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. If he was stable mentally, I think he could have been a good cause.
Yeah. So one motivation for chemtrails, if they were real, would be to reverse global warming.
Block out the sun.
Yeah.
Which Bill Gates has talked about.
Yeah.
He has talked about it.
He has.
And I think they're trying to figure out how to do it.
That's a motivating factor for the conspiracy.
Yeah.
You know,
when Bill Gates is like, hey, we're trying this. And you're like, they're blocking out the sun. No, you're lying.
Yeah.
Like, he's literally saying that.
Just told you that. Yeah, and it's
like, when has blocking out the sun ever done anything good?
Yeah.
It's like when volcanoes erupt, you know, and you can like, what was that time in Europe? It was like 300 years of blackness.
Yeah.
And like it kills everything. It's like, what are you doing?
And it happens so naturally. Why would we need to try?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Earth has a way of correcting itself.
Yeah.
Via
I'm kind of an accelerationist. It's like, let's don't do anything. Just keep going on.
Yeah.
And if we all die, we all die.
Yeah.
Let's just go on.
It's the Earth cleaning itself out.
We'll do our best to pick up after ourselves, but let's not do anything drastic here.
Yeah.
Let's not just pump something in the air and hopefully it works.
Yeah, because without like any regard for side effects.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We're giving an atmosphere a vaccine, you know?
It's gross.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
And the ozone, if they complain about the ozone, like the ozone heals itself.
Yeah. Nobody talks about that.
No one talks about that. I remember like 10, 15 years ago, they're like, it's getting bigger and the sun's coming through and it's blasting us. And it's like, just like 5 years ago, it was like, oh, we're fine.
Yeah. I remember in high school, like that being a big issue. Like, and it was hairspray, aerosol hairspray was the cause.
And car refrigerant, R12, they done took R12 from us boys.
Yeah.
They took the best refrigerant.
I miss R12.
You think your car's cold now? I've never even felt it, and I know it's cold. Just from the stories I hear.
It's true. It is true. And we took it out for no reason at all.
Yep.
Because some scientists said it, and everybody believed it. But
I swear.
The world we live in.
What's another one?
Yeah, so, weather manipulation.
Right, which we can touch back on that.
Yeah. That kind of ties into the global warming, but a lot of what I heard was weather manipulation for warfare. Like controlling the weather conditions.
Gotcha, so you can't fly or something like that?
Yeah.
Can't see.
Yep. And here's another reason why chemtrail theory gets believed is that's real. Beijing for the Olympics famously did it to control the weather around the opening ceremonies. They didn't want it raining on the opening ceremonies because the giant stadium they built was open air.
Oh, okay.
And they didn't want it raining that day.
Gotcha.
So they manipulated the weather with cloud seeding.
Was that 2008?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was early, yeah.
Yeah, not too long ago, but yeah. They supposedly cloud seeded around Beijing so that it would rain everywhere around Beijing and there would be no moisture in the atmosphere.
Which is wild.
And it worked. Like it worked apparently. So, but this is another one of those. Like they couldn't have done it at high altitude where a chemtrail or contrail is. They had to do it lower in the clouds, and that's kind of the premises with cloud seeding. Is there has to be clouds there already.
Yeah,
you can't just make a cloud and then you know what I mean. Like, that's silly. So, still not a chemtrail.
Yeah,
we just keep going back to that. Not a chemtrail.
Doesn't fit the definition.
Doesn't fit the definition. But, so I was talking to my son about this, prepping for the show, and he's like, hey, what are y'all talking about this week? I said, we're talking about chemtrails, and he's like, look up Top Gear cloud generator. So searched it in YouTube, and in Mississippi, not too far from us, they've got a rocket site. It's like a giant building with a rocket that comes out of the bottom of it. And I don't know the science behind it, but when they fire this thing off, it puts out the biggest white cloud you've ever seen coming out of a building.
Okay.
And when he went to talk about it for a show, he was there, and they've got it cleared out for like, it was thousands and thousands of acres. Like there's nobody around this place because it's so loud that nobody wants to live near it.
Yeah.
But when they fired this thing off, and there's videos all over YouTube, you can look it up. When they fire this thing off, just this giant, thick, white cloud comes out of it, and it's a cloud, like a real cloud, water cloud, and it started raining on him right after he did it. So
maybe you need to put a clip in that.
Yeah, I will. We'll do that. But it's super easy apparently to make a cloud.
Yeah.
So weather modification, again, is real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they could do these sort of things, make a cloud, make a weather using this technology, and then cloud seed it and make it rain or do whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
So I wonder for like, for the sake of like just drowning out the conspiracy, it's like they put the two groups together. Like if you talk about weather modification, you are now part of the chemtrail group.
Yeah.
Just to shut down dissenting voices.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because you did. So remember Katrina at New Orleans? Everybody blamed George Bush for it. Said he caused it. And that made people go, "What? You're crazy." But weather manipulation is kind of real.
Yeah. Yeah. Something about the weather, and they what they do to the water blockades. They like
the levees.
The levees, they opened them up, didn't they?
They didn't open them up. They just failed. They just wasn't strong enough to handle.
Okay, I thought I saw something was left a little.
May have been a conspiracy. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
Yeah. And then more recently, the hurricane, I can't remember the name of it, that came up through North Carolina and hit super deep.
Harvey? Not Harvey. That's New York. I don't remember this one. Oops. Yeah. My brain's
It's very recent. It's probably the most recent one.
Yeah.
God, I'll have to look that up. But yeah, so that one, everybody was pointing to that one saying that it was government manipulated.
Right. And the science was like, this is climate change made.
Yeah. Yeah. Or was it natural?
I don't know. I have no way of knowing.
No.
There's no way of knowing. Even if you're a scientist, I don't know how you would. If you're not in the know, how do you know?
Yeah. And even if you know.
And if they have ability to make it look natural, how would you know?
Yeah. And even if you did know.
How would you know?
It's so compartmentalized. Yeah, like you're good at making clouds, but does that get passed off to the next guy that would use it for nefarious reasons?
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. Let's take a break, and then I want to dig into the bill that we talked about that Florida passed.
Okay.
And that points to why.
Okay.
You know, and then we'll break that down.
All right.
But anyway, let's go to... Oh, here we go. Steven's not here. See if I can do it.
Let's get the thoughts of the Watchtower.
The Watchtower.
Go to shroudedrealities.com. I don't know why Steven feels like he has to change his voice for this voice, but I kind of like it.
I kind of like it.
But if you go to shroudedrealities.com, you can get t-shirts, stickers, and that's about it.
I'm on Patreon.
And you can go on Patreon and support the show for just $2 a month. You get early access to all the shows, and this is
annoying, so I'm going to stop.
Yes.
I like it, though.
Yeah.
The Watchtower. Speaking of the Watchtower, we got, we kicked the bee's hive of Jehovah's Witnesses.
I didn't think that was going to be a thing.
I did not think that was going to be a thing.
I thought, if I could rank it, that would be the last thing.
Yeah. I didn't think that. Yeah, I didn't think any Jehovah's Witnesses will be listening to any of our content whatsoever.
Because I think of a Jehovah's Witness, I'm thinking someone out in the woods.
Yeah.
Someone away from
apparently
technology.
Not.
Yeah, apparently not.
They're all in it.
Yeah.
Because, Steven got, we put out a short on TikTok, and it wasn't even an episode. It was the anniversary episode where we just happened to mention Jehovah's Witness, and then we put a clip out of on it because it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And boy, that ticked some people off.
Did you get some engagement?
Yes, we got a lot of engagement.
I mean,
a whole group of them just started like bombarding us.
Golly.
And Steven went on one of their TikTok shows and he got hammered. Hammered. He was not happy about it.
Yeah.
He hopped in and I didn't get to see it. It's not recorded because it was a TikTok live, but he said he hopped in, and as soon as he like just started talking theology with them, like 5 other ones jumped in and just hammered him and wouldn't let him get a thought out and just like knocked him down hard.
Jehovah witnessed a murder over here.
Yeah, so we may in the future
have to gear up.
We may have to gear up and get a guest on here and bring them into our basketball court.
Yeah,
and just discuss
Give him the old MJ.
Yeah, just dunked on him.
Yeah.
Or they might come here and dunk on us.
I don't know. Who
Who
knows?
Steven got dunked on. He said he felt bad. He said it was,
He had to take a shower after that one.
He did.
I didn't smoke a cigarette after that one.
But yeah, go check out all our social media. You can find fun stuff like that. Like I said, the TikTok's got a lot of comments in it. And
How many? I don't have TikTok, so I don't know.
I don't either. I mean, I check on it every now and then. Steven likes to live that world. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm old. I'm in the Facebook world.
Yeah, you are. You're that boomer brain.
Yeah, I push everything on Facebook.
I'm more of a marketplace guy. I just sit there and see what's for sale.
Shopping.
Yeah, see who's hitting a midlife crisis and see what I can get.
Sometimes you can get good stuff.
I'm telling you. Yeah, I got a toolbox for good deals.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. I don't like doing it because then I go buy crap that I don't need.
Hey, it just itches that part of your brain.
Yeah.
Speaking of itching that part of your brain, chemicals.
Chemicals. You think the itch in your brain could be caused by
maybe
chemicals?
It's entering that soft layer of tissue.
It's making you a consumer.
I love to consume.
Don't we all? But why would Florida Senate Bill 56, geoengineering and weather modification activities need to even be a thing? You know, a lot of conspiracy theory. I mean, jeez, oh, crimey, I can't get it out. The chemtrail people say this is, look, if they're passing laws for it, banning in certain states, it's got to be real.
Right.
Which may or may not be true because like we mentioned earlier, the cloud generator, that was on the ground.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the sky.
Yeah.
So still not a chemtrail. So maybe this bill is just, trying to ban stuff like that for obvious reasons. Because like you said, I don't think we need to be messing with the weather at all, ever.
Yeah.
But the bill, just to prove it was true, it was introduced by Senator Garcia, Leak, Yarborough, and Gruder back November last year. Went through different committees, and you can go in. I found it on their Florida State Senate website. But you can go in and see where it went. It went into the Environmental and Natural Resources Committee in February, and it passed there. It went to the Appropriations Committee for Agriculture, Environment, and General Government in March, and it passed there, and then went to Rules Committee, it passed there, then it went to Senate, passed there, and went to the House and passed there. All of them pretty overwhelming. It was like 90%, 80% in each way, and then DeSantis signed the bill on the 23rd of June, 2025.
So what are the highlights of it?
It's really just banning... I'll just read it. Geoengineering, weather modification activities, repealing provisions relating to definitions, purpose, licensing requirements and applications, proof of financial responsibility requirements, licensing issuance, and discipline provisions. Bunch of boring stuff. Prohibiting certain acts intended to affect the temperature, the weather, or the intensity of the sunlight within the atmosphere of the state of Florida, requiring an operator of public infrastructure to report certain information monthly to the Department of Transportation.
Okay.
So they're pretty much just saying, quit screwing with the weather in Florida.
Gotcha.
The thing I found funny with this is it's just not going to affect anything. Like I said, like the atmosphere is so big. If you're protecting the weather in Florida, you're really protecting the weather somewhere else.
Yeah.
For the weather to be protected in Florida, you would need like Georgia and Alabama and Mississippi and Louisiana to not affect the weather.
Yeah.
Because everything's going to shift. Yeah, it's going to shift over the state of Florida. I do think it's a good start, though.
Yeah.
Maybe other states will pick this up and quit screwing with the weather. Because I'm like you, I don't think we should be screwing with the weather.
Yeah, even if it's bad. I mean, I don't...
Yeah.
We could make it worse.
Yeah, definitely make it worse.
It's like scratching a scab.
Yeah, yeah. There was I did hear a story. There was a flood in London that they did do some weather manipulation testing, and it caused a massive flood that like wiped out tons of people, like killed people. Because
that's fun.
The day after they did it, it started raining, And then it just didn't stop. It just kept going.
They're like, it worked too good.
Yeah, it worked way too good. And it was like, oops, make it stop. But guess what? Genie's out of the bottle. You can't.
Yeah, that's what happened in Saudi Arabia, too.
Yeah.
You think of Saudi Arabia as like dry desert, right?
Yeah.
Well, they do cloud seeding there
Really?
to bring rain. Well, it did too well.
Yeah.
And it flooded in Saudi Arabia.
And washed out everything.
And there's videos you can find of like the streets are just flooded, cars flowing down in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Which is like, where even is the closest water source? I mean, I guess the ocean, but.
Yeah, the Mediterranean, I think.
Yeah, but that place is desert.
Yeah. Again, why? Like, just let it be.
Yeah.
If you don't like the desert, move out of the desert.
Yeah.
Go somewhere
I
else.
guess if you're like a trillionaire, I mean, the weather's like a fun thing to play with, I guess.
Yeah. So remember.
Does it come down to a control thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So remember our CERN episode?
Yeah,
We talk about particle collision and all that kind of stuff. This falls into that world with me. Weather modification, like just a bunch of rich white guys just wanting to feel powerful. And what's more powerful than controlling the weather?
I mean, that's like an attribute of a god.
Yeah, that's God's status.
Controlling
that's
weather to
want.
control crops. And
and I don't like it.
No.
We don't need
It's
to
like
do
that
it.
movie, what's that movie? Geostorm? You seen that?
I haven't seen that one.
Well, basically, there's like this space station that like can control all the weather around the world.
Really?
And like somebody hacked it and like made freaking fire tornadoes and like
Ugh.
tsunamis and stuff. It's just Hollywood doing a little tease for
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Just a little mind control.
Yeah, like this is what we're doing.
Pre-programming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of HARP?
That sounds familiar.
Speaking of government controlling things, it's a science research facility in Gacona, Alaska, where they are messing with the atmosphere and testing things for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But it's one of those like super secret. Everybody knows it's there, but they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Isn't that like a defense thing? Like a defense?
You would think. I don't know. HARP stands for High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hear high frequency and that just tingles something in me.
Yep. It's used to study, literally, frequencies tingle things. It's used to study the ionosphere, an electrically charged part of the Earth's upper atmosphere. And it's just an array of antennas like just on the ground that transmit radio waves up in the sky.
That sounds...
But yeah, there's all kinds of different like things that it could cause or situations that have happened.
I feel like I'm back to our frequency conversation. It's like you start messing with that. It's like, who knows what can happen?
Yeah. Yeah. And when you're doing it in the atmosphere that covers the whole Earth, what effects is that going to have? You know?
What are we doing here?
I don't know.
What are we doing here?
I don't know.
I need to see when like the first, who was the first person to like talk about this stuff, like doing this stuff? It's got to be in like the 1800s or something.
You talking about weather manipulation or chemtrails?
Weather manipulation. Like talking about like controlling the weather.
Yeah.
Because that can't be a new idea.
No.
I mean,
it seems preposterous that we could control the weather.
Yeah. I mean, the Egyptians were kind of trying to, sacrificing people to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They were doing it in a spiritual way, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And then once we get to where our technology's big and we can.
Mimics God's power.
Yep.
Fallen angel. Oh, just tickle something in your
brain.
It
always goes to fallen angels.
I tickled your brain, Joey.
Oh, maybe.
Open it up. Give him a strong hand.
Maybe Tesla was influenced by demonic forces, fallen angel forces. He started the technological advancement
that we play with today.
And all that plays into this weather manipulation.
Yeah.
Atmosphere manipulation. All in a means to control and destroy God's race. Jeez. Didn't expect to go here today.
Look at that.
Look at there.
I told you, we flow.
It always ties back to episode 1.
Episode 1.
I do want to revisit episode 1.
Yeah.
Book of Enoch.
Yeah.
That was a mind breaker for me.
This has started the whole
So
snowball
So
for
it
you.
started the whole snowball of evil forces working in the world, including our government.
Yeah. So what if someone came up to you and was like, Joey, we're controlling the weather for the good of the world?
That's what it's.
How would you respond to that?
Be like, no, it's not our role.
It's not our
what we're
role.
supposed to do.
But Joey, we can bring rain to the dry parts of the world.
See, I had that thought too. My garden is popping this year. It's doing great. We had a lot of rain.
Mm-hmm. Too much, almost.
Yeah, and then I see the cloud maker in Mississippi, and it made me think, crap, was the cloud maker in Mississippi making it rain at my house? You know what I mean? Do I have the cloud generator in Mississippi to thank for my good garden this year?
I don't know.
I don't know.
How would you calculate that? You know?
Yeah, they would have to have a study that they'd release and say,
It's not like you can tag a cloud and be like, this one's fake, this one's real.
Yeah. And they're not going to do that. They're not going to say, we did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because of if something crappy did happen and it did start a 100-year flood.
Yeah.
And it killed 30 people.
100-year flood, you're talking millions of people.
Yeah. But yeah, if they did cause that, they're not going to say, oh, we did that.
Yeah.
They're just going to do it.
Yeah. And blame it on
nature.
Yeah.
It just happens.
We use too much oil products.
Yeah.
Joey.
It's our fault.
We have too much hairspray.
Blame it. Yeah.
Everybody's hair is too nice.
Aerosol hairspray.
Your cars are too cold. Your hair is too nice.
See
what they took from us, Joey?
They did.
They took the best. They took things from us.
Yeah.
They lowered our quality of life just to get our planet to live a little longer.
And turned out not to be true.
Let's have the best time and end this party.
Let's have the spikiest hair,
the coolest cars,
loudest trucks.
Yeah.
And just live.
Yeah. I don't want corn in my fuel.
No. And I don't want glyphosate on my food. And that goes to the food talk again. Like,
Yep.
See, they are trying to control us.
Oh, here we go.
There we go. But it's in a different way.
Yeah.
Chemtrails is not how they're controlling us.
Yeah. So coming to the end of the conversation, chemtrails, are you out?
Chemtrails out.
Out. I'm out.
Out. Don't think they're real.
Yeah.
You look up in the sky, you see a airplane with a trail behind it. It's condensation. Chill out, folks.
Let it go.
They're not. There's way more easier ways to screw with you.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally it's in your pocket.
Yeah, this is screwing.
This is it right here. They ain't got to put it in the water. They ain't got to put it in your food.
Mm-hmm.
They put it on your screen.
Yep. But weather manipulation is real.
Yes, that part is real.
Yeah.
I actually found a website called weathermodification.com.
Really?
Yeah,
What's
it
on
was
there?
actually funny.
It's funny.
It's like
What?
just it's so blatantly obvious. It's hilarious.
Wow.
It's literally called weathermodification.com, and it tells you like what they do.
The title of the thing is Weather Modification Incorporated. See, these is why we bring this up. This needs to get shut down. Shut this down. Why are we even thinking about this?
Yeah.
We don't need to be making it rain.
When most people look up, they see clouds. We see potential.
Stop. Now more than ever. Hey, let's do this and watch Terror Voice.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, nope.
Wrong one. There we go.
Now more than ever, the worldwide need for solutions to atmospheric necessities such as water resource management and environmental quality monitoring is critical. Period.
This is the top of their website.
Yeah.
We got to stop this.
Yeah. Here's their services and offerings. Offerings. That's a weird.
Offerings? What are you offering? Sounds like something we do at church.
Program services, meteorological services, atmospheric assessment and evaluation. What does that mean? Like they come to your land of like your cloud, your atmosphere needs a little bit more iron in it.
Look at the next one.
Cloud seeding.
Stop cloud seeding.
Weather radar systems, environmental monitoring, and aircraft. They sell aircraft?
Oh, what? Click into that. Let's see.
Oh, they look like something that would spread some kind of
fleet built for success. Modifying and operating aircraft for cloud seeding and stop since 1961.
Whoa!
Do you read that?
Yeah.
You asked when did this start happening?
Well, the conspiracy was like 99.
That's when, yeah.
Yeah,
chemtrails
but the
started.
actual weather
modification started in 1961 with this company, which means somebody else had the idea before them.
Okay, so look, on the cloud seeding drop down, they have aerial cloud seeding and ground-based cloud seeding.
That's just the thing in Mississippi.
Yeah. So the cloud seeding is useful in the following applications: increasing precipitation, mitigating hail damage, and dispersing fog. Why would you need to do 2 of those? I can understand the hail damage, but dispersing fog and increasing precipitation.
So the different airplanes that they offer, the Beechcraft King Air, the Hawker, the Bombardier, Piper, and the Cessna, they all look like kind of smaller planes, but under that it says aircraft modification. If you operate your own aviation fleet, we can provide custom modified aircraft to match your specific mission requirements. Or can modify your existing aircraft to perform operations as needed. See, this stuff doesn't help when you're trying to explain away chemtrails. Because they're doing it.
And this is who Saudi Arabia uses.
Really?
Yeah, I found it.
Wow. So this is like a worldwide thing.
Yeah, they had some job openings.
You want to go? Let's infiltrate. Let's go work in it and bring it down.
Hey, we're here to evaluate your aircraft.
Yeah, we want to make it rain in Saudi Arabia. I don't like this at all. I'm going to dig in. No, I don't need to dig in these guys because they make me freaking crazy.
Yep. He'd be the crazy guy who sends them an email like, hey, if you don't stop this, I'm going to do something bad.
Yeah. Maybe we'll inspire somebody to do that.
But
I don't want death.
Yeah.
No death and destruction.
Yeah.
We just need to be writing letters.
They just look at him and throw them away.
Yeah. Just laugh.
Yeah.
We're weathermodification.com.
I mean,
thanks for bringing this to my world.
It's hilarious, right? Because it's not like a hidden thing.
It's not.
It's weathermodification.com.
This is literally the title of the website. Weather Modification Incorporated is the company name. Proven success of weather modification in atmosphere and weather operations is evident by our lengthy and impressive client list speaking for itself. Yeah. Dude, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I wish we would have started with this. I'd be like a full-blown, straight-up, yeah, we did it, chemtrail guy now.
Yeah.
But again, they're smaller planes, so they wouldn't be at that high altitude.
I think jetliners is just, I think there's nothing going on.
Yeah. And I don't think you would see it either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're distributing cloud seeding stuff, you're not going to see it.
Right.
It's just particles. But condensation coming out of a jet exhaust, you would see.
Yeah.
Which we do.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? We wrap it up?
I think we wrap it.
We wrap it right here. Boom, I did it.
Boom.
Steven! I've
noticed sometimes Steven does the intro twice on accident.
Does he?
Yeah.
Twice on accident?
Like, like intro as the outro.
I don't know. He's good, though. He's got this stuff figured out.
Yeah.
We miss you, Steven.
He's stressed.
Get better, buddy.
Yeah.
He's not stressed. He's just sick.
Same difference.
Sick, same difference. Yeah, so let us know in the comments. What do you think?
Yeah.
Chemtrails, contrails, which side are you living on?
Doesn't matter. Let it go. You can't control it.
Can't control it because there's giant incorporated companies with names like weathermodification.com that are doing it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And they're just taking people's money.
Yeah. Just let it go.
So just let it go. Go start your garden.
Yeah.
Live right. Worship God, not your government.
That's right.
There it is. Mic drop.
Let's get out of here.
For Connor and Joey and Ruby the podcast dog. Thanks for listening.